morning. We are here at the Met Park Sports Center in Pasay City on this rainy Monday morning, July 28th, for the opening of the second season of the National Developmental Sports League. Good morning, everybody. My name is Kyle Sanchez, bringing to you some intense off-season basketball action. And today we have 6 games for our opening day, and we are going to be kicking things off with the Lyceum University Pirates going up against the Emilio Aguinaldo College Generals. And at 9:30 we have the Junior Altos of Perpetual going up against Emilio Aguinaldo's junior squad, the Brigadiers. And then to be followed by the St. Clair Saints going up against JRU. At 12:30 we have Team Smash, one of our commercial league teams, going up against the senior team of Perpetual. At 2 o'clock we have San Beda Red Lions going up against the College of St. Emile Blazers. And for our final game of the day we have the Lyceum Junior Pirates for our 6th and final game. But before we get things started, let's turn it over to our courtside reporter, Danielle LaGuardia, for the pregame report.
Thank you so much, Kyle. A rainy morning to you, of course, at the start of a new season. And we welcome 2 new teams who are excited to really set the tone for this season. We have the LPU Pirates, a team composed mostly of Team A players who are looking forward to build more chemistry, game experiences, and growth going against quality teams here in the Ndsl. Assistant Coach Patrick Melencio shared that we can expect their team identity to manifest in this season. Aggressive defense and fast-paced game that makes them the Pirates. Meanwhile, we have the AYAC Generals bringing in all their Team B residency players to show what they can bring into the court. The team has recently joined multiple leagues and even got the championship in the Alliance Pilipinas League last month, and now they are packed with confidence and hunger to play and bring another championship to their name. All suited up to start the season. Season 2 is a go. Here is Cholo Pangilinan to give us the starting 5.
Anthem.
Together, let us bow down our heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing everyone together for today's game. Thank you for the gift of sport and the opportunity for these players to showcase their talent, discipline, and hard work. Let this day be filled with energy, joy, and unity. And may the values learned on the court carry over into their lives beyond the game. In your holy name we pray, amen. Friends from all over, welcome to the Ndsl Basketball Series second conference. This game is between the LPU Pirates and the EAC Generals. Let us meet your starting five first for your EAC Generals. Starting number 4, Edmond Mundas. Jersey number 11, Harvey Raimundo. Jersey number 16, General Banikid. Jersey number 18, Stephen Villaflor. And jersey number 31, MJ Raimundo. Head coach for the EAC Generals is Coach Noy Catalan. And now it's time to meet your starting five for your Lyceum of the Philippines University Pirates. Jersey number 12, Joshua Moralejo. Jersey number 13, Gael Montaño. Jersey number 15, Genesis Aviles. Jersey number 17, Simon Peñafiel. And jersey number 24, Jonathan Dialeg. Head coach for the LPU Pirates is Coach Patrick Melencio. Once again, this is the second conference of the 2025 Ndsl Basketball Series.
And we are underway. We are about to tip off here for our first game of the second conference of the National Developmental Sports League. First game is between the Lyceum Pirates going up against the Emilio Aguinaldo College Generals. Both teams mixed with some Team A and Team B players. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic for our coaches as some teams in the NCAA are still trying to figure out who will be in their lineup for season 101. And these leagues are precisely one of the reasons why we have these leagues, for our coaches to be able to determine who will move on up to their Team A. That first shot is missed. Benafiel bringing that ball up. A good ball movement here by the Pirates to start things off. Benafiel again with the ball, asking for a screen. Both teams still scoreless to start this game. Still nothing here. Third try for the Pirates. Score is 0-0. That was a good pass, just overshot that ball. Ball stays with the Generals. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Both teams still scoreless. And a good knockout play there for the Generals. They draw first blood 2-0. Montaño with the step back, in and out. The Generals trying to push that ball up. Villaflor looking for a teammate. Good cut and a good kick out for the shooter. Montaño with the and one there. Good pass and a good finish. Now the Pirates tie things up at 2 apiece. Let's look at that again. Good no-look pass, and all Montaño had to do was knock that layup down. Plus the foul. Bonus free throw coming up for Montaño. And that gives the Pirates a 1-point lead, 3-2 here, with over 2 minutes having gone by to start this first quarter. The outside shot of Emilio Aguinaldo not falling to start this game. Montaño once again with the ball. Raimundo with a fast break layup. The Generals up by 1, 4-3. Peñafiel bringing up that ball. Moralego asking for a screen here. No go there for that three-pointer. Slow start for both teams, trying to shake off a little bit of rust. Yeah, it's gonna be a push. An obvious call there, loose ball foul. That foul is gonna be on Villaflor. That's already the second team foul for EAC. Lyceum still without a team foul here. And that's another steal, this time for Raimundo. Good unselfishness there coming from Raimundo, finding Benique trailing the play. A good footwork there. Just short on that shot from Aviles. A good hustle coming from Beniqued. Just was unable to control that leather. Ball will go back to the Pirates. A bit of a low scoring affair here, almost at the halfway mark, 6-3 in favor of EAC. Moralejo once again, two-man game with Aviles, but a turnover is gonna be finished with a Raimundo. Oh, it was gonna be a Raimundo layup, but that was a hard foul coming from Moralejo. And it looks like our officials are gonna have to review that last play. And this was supposed to be an open layup for Raimundo, but Moralejo had other things in mind. That was a bit of a hard foul. Of course, our officials just wanting to make sure that they get the correct call. Even though it's only the first game of the opening of our second season, action already starting to build up. Only the first quarter, Moralejo already giving a hard foul there to Raimundo. As our referees still deliberating on what the final call will be. On the floor, it was only a regular foul. And it looks like the call will stand. It's going to be a regular foul and 2 free throws coming up for Raimundo. That's Moralejo's first personal foul. Ball will stay with EAC. The General is quicker to the ball to start this game here, winning those 50-50 balls, giving them some extra possessions. Once again, getting an offensive rebound are the Generals. Well, I see him a bit slow to start things off here. Only 3 points so far on the board for the Pirates. Oh, and that's going to be another foul. This time it's going to be on Genesis Aviles. Trying to go for that block, instead got all hand there. Mundas will head to the free throw line for 2. Good move towards the baseline. And he makes the first. Overshoots the second free throw. 5-point lead now for the Generals, 8-3. Peñafiel getting a screen from Versosa. Still nothing for the Pirates from beyond the arc. That's going to be another foul for LPU. This time, Peñafiel holding on to the rolling Villaflor after getting that screen. And that will put Lyceum in the penalty. That's their 4th team foul. So they can't afford to give up any more tick-attack fouls here for the rest of the quarter. A miscommunication there for EAC. Ball will go back to LPU. And play has been a bit sloppy to start things off. Completely understandable, as both teams have been on a hiatus recently. As before we get back to the action, we turn you over to our courtside reporter, Danielle LaGuardia.
As you mentioned, this is the chance for the coaches to evaluate their players and for the players to step up in time for their main leagues. That's why for Coach Patrick Melencio of LPU Pirates, this season is all about growth. They want to make the players enjoy and gain more confidence by learning how to play with each other more. As he said, at the end of the day, it's not about the biggest or the smallest. It's about who's more prepared and who will. It will all boil down to chemistry. In this match, Coach Patrick pointed out that it has been a long time since they went against each other. So they will just focus on what they can control. With this slow start, let's see how they will rise up to the challenge. Kyle?
Thank you, Danielle. And she said it perfectly. They are using these leagues for preparation for their mother leagues. And as Danielle mentioned, Coach Patrick trying to look at what their lineup is going to look like moving forward. So far, EAC doing a good job of showing or trying to prove that these young men deserve a spot in the Team A. As that hustle by Raimundo pays off, gets the steal and draws the foul, which will send him to the free throw line. Before that, we saw that beautiful cut and layup by Edmund Mundas, extending this lead once again. First free throw from Raimundo is good. 11-3 now. The Pirates have been stuck at 3 points for more than 4 minutes now. They have had a difficult time, to say the least, putting that ball in the hoop as Raimundo sinks his second free throw. Even point-blank shots not falling for the Pirates. There seems to be a lid on their rim to start the first quarter, and that is going to be a three-pointer for Adam Doria, extending this lead to 12 now in favor of the Generals. And everyone on the Lyceum lineup having a difficult time scoring here. And Coach Gilbert trying to find the right combinations on the floor. That's going to be a shot clock violation for the Generals. Finally, Lyceum breaking the dry spell there. Casino hitting that corner three-pointer. Casino might be that spark off the bench that Coach Gilbert Malabanan has been looking for here in the first quarter. And they could go on a run before the end of this first quarter, speaking of the Pirates, as they get a stop here. And Versosa gets fouled. EAC still not in the penalty. Only the third team foul and first personal foul for Kyle Buen. Winters at the top of the key. Winters, a recent graduate of the San Beda Red Cup program, now moving on to the seniors ranks, hitting that three-pointer right on cue. And the Pirates now on a 6-0 run here, trimming this lead down to 6 with 1 minute and 22 seconds remaining. Winters quick 5 points for him off the bench, finishing the break with that layup. You have to reward your big man whenever they run the floor. Good recognition there. And it's going to be an offensive foul for Kyle Buen. 2 quick fouls for him. And how quickly the tide has changed here, what was a 12-point deficit just a minute ago is now down to 4. The Lyceum going on an 8-0 run. And you can tell that the energy has picked up here. Winters off on that floater. Lyceum has to take better care of their foul situation here. They've been in the penalty. They were in the penalty early, and that's allowed EAC some easy looks at the basket from the free throw line. And now it's Adam Doria at the charity stripe for 2. Off on that first free throw. Doria hits the second. 23 seconds remaining. Last shot here coming up for the Pirates. Renz Villegas calling out the play. They have 9 seconds to work with, getting this screen at the top of the key from Winters. Finding his teammate Dave Paulo for that 3-point attempt off the mark, but he was fouled. Not a good foul there for Adam Doria. Definitely a no-no in basketball, fouling a jump shooter. A 3-point attempt at that. That will give Dave Paulo 3 easy looks at the basket. And gets the friendly bounce on that first one. And he has a chance to cut this lead down to 1 before we end the first quarter if he hits all 3 of his free throws. Overshoots the second. And Paulo hits his last free throw there. It's now just a 2-point lead for EAC with 2.8 seconds remaining. Inbounding from the length of the floor. A full court heave here. Almost broken up by Versosa. Ball will stay with the Generals with 1.9 seconds remaining. Still a lot of time. And just like that, the coaching staff calls a timeout to try and draw up a play before we end the first quarter. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We are back here, National Developmental Sports League second conference. This is our opening day, first game. After this, we have 5 more games, so don't go anywhere. A lot of intense offseason basketball action here. But for now, we have the Lyceum Pirates going up against the EAC Generals. And the Generals getting a steal to start the second quarter, but a bit sloppy as Casino gave up that turnover, but now the Generals having trouble getting that ball to go. But Mundo knocking it down off the glass for that mid-range jumper. It's a 5-point lead now for the EAC Generals, 18-13. Villegas getting that screen at the top of the key. Off the mark, but Casino skying high for that offensive rebound, tapping that ball off the glass to himself. And he will be rewarded with a trip to the free throw line. And that foul will be on Joelo Kalingasan, seeing action for the first time here today. As we mentioned in our pregame, these teams have a mix of Team A and Team B players. Of course, our coaches using these off-season leagues to take a look at what their lineup will be in their mother leagues. And of course, trying to assess their talent pool as Casino misses both free throws. Missed opportunity there for the Pirates. Still a 5-point lead for the Generals with Raimundo not seeing Kalingasan open underneath the basket. Still setting up that play with 12 seconds on the shot clock for the Generals. That's going to be a loose ball foul on Kyle Buen, and if I'm correct, that is already his 3rd personal foul. Kyle Buen, you love the energy that he's been bringing, especially on the defensive end of the floor, but he has to be careful with his fouls. You're not going to be able to help your team if you're riddled with foul trouble. As Barba trying to break down his defender. Barba, one of the veteran players of the Pirates, overshooting that three-pointer. Raimundo missing that mid-range pull-up. It was a double-digit deficit early in the first quarter, but the Pirates going on an 8-0 run to end the first quarter, which trimmed this lead down. Villegas and Winners 2-man game here. Versosa working down low in the post. That's going to be the 2nd personal foul already for Kalingasan. So it's going to be another trip to the line here for the Pirates. This time it's going to be Versosa who is going to be tested at the 15-foot stripe. Already the 3rd team foul for the Generals. And you still have 7 minutes and 57 seconds to go in the second quarter. Already in danger of getting into the penalty early are the Generals. And again, a missed free throw for the Pirates. That's 3 consecutive missed free throws already for Lyceum. They could have trimmed this lead down to 2 already had they made their free throws. That's 4 missed free throws in a row for the Pirates. You love that they're getting to the line. Of course, if you're not knocking down your free throws, you're bailing the other team out. As Raimundo gets that offensive rebound. And they make the Pirates pay, which prompts Coach Gilbert to call for a timeout, or rather, correction. It was only a substitution as Fuentes is set to check into this ball game. It looks like Coach Gilbert will go on ahead and have that timeout called. 7-point lead here for the EAC Generals. We are going to be taking a quick break. Don't go anywhere. second quarter action ongoing right now here between the Lyceum Pirates and the EAC Generals. 7 minutes and 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. A good extra pass there coming from Reyes. That's going to be another foul called on the EAC Generals. That's going to be their 4th team foul already. They are in the penalty already this early in the second quarter. Luckily for them, the Pirates have been missing their free throws. But if Lyceum starts to hit their free throws, that could spell trouble for the Generals. It's going to be another foul, and that is going to be Kalingasan's 3rd personal foul. So both Kyle Buen and Joelo Kalingasan already with 3 personal fouls, which forces the coaching staff of EAC to dig deeper into their bench. It's going to be Stephen Texon checking in for the first time for EAC. As Caicedo knocks the first free throw. Finally breaking the dry spell. First point for Lyceum here in the second quarter. And he knocks down the second as well. It's going to be 2 quick fouls here for Lyceum, as the Generals are set to inbound the ball from the baseline. Reyes showing off that foot speed, getting the loose ball and finishing the break off by himself, trimming this lead down to 3:20-17, still in favor of EAC. Raimundo might have gotten away with the travel there, but he was fouled by Caicedo. Baniked checking back into the game for the Generals. 14 seconds on the shot clock of EAC. As Raimundo picks up the loose ball, overshoots that mid-range jumper. Quick outlet coming from Barba. Reyes, who hit a layup earlier, gives the ball up to Fuentes, who wastes no time in converting that basket, plus the foul. Well, let's take another look at that drop-off pass coming from Reyes, and Fuentes taking one dribble before hitting that layup. And with his free throw, he could tie this ball game up at 20 apiece. And Fuentes back rims that bonus free throw. And that is going to be a foul on Caicedo after getting that ball stripped from him by Bakud. And gave up that frustration foul. As it's going to be another timeout, this time called by the EAC Generals. We're going to go on another quick break here. After that timeout, coaching staff of EAC not happy, drawing up a play, but instead getting a turnover here. Credit the defense of Lyceum forcing that turnover, as the Generals are now playing in a 2-3 zone, trying to give a different look, but Jovan Abregana making them pay, hitting that corner jumper, which gives the lead now to Lyceum, 22-20. Abregana seeing his first bit of action here for this ball game. A good extra pass there, but that outside shot was way off the mark as Fuentes finishes the break with a lefty layup, but a player from the Pirates is on the floor here, clutching onto his jaw. Looks like seems to be Texon who's on the floor, or rather that's Reyes, who claims that he was elbowed on that last play. And let's take a look at our replay here on the screen. And as they were jockeying for position, Reyes and Texon got tangled up, and Reyes got the worst of that interaction. Our referees trying to deliberate on what the call will be. Not sure if there was anything intentional on the part of Texon, but of course the contact was above the shoulder as Reyes got hit on the face. And it looks like it will be just an unsportsmanlike foul is going to be called on Texon. And this could be a big development here before we end the second quarter. The momentum has swung the way of the Pirates. They are now enjoying a 4-point lead. Reyes is at the free throw line. Because of that loose ball foul by Texon, the Generals are in the penalty, and so are the Pirates, which is why Reyes is at the free throw line for 2 free throws. Take a look at Texon on the bench, visibly not agreeing with our official's call. Reyes knocking down the first of 2 free throws. Reyes knocks the second one down as well. It's already a 6-point lead now for the Pirates. Ball will go back to the Generals. And before we continue with the action, let's turn it over to our courtside reporter, Danielle LaGuardia. Danielle?
Upon speaking with team captain MJ Raimundo of EAC Generals, he shared that it came a bit of a shock to them that other teams have Team A players in their lineup. For them, they are actually all Team B players in residency, but it does not weigh them down because they still carry the high they got from their recent off-season league championship. As MJ said, this is their last off-season league and they will do whatever it takes to gain more experiences and learnings as they work towards being part of the Team A roster. For MJ Raimundo, he is expecting that they get to build their character as they go against different kinds of teams. With the current turnaround, let's see how the Generals will handle the situation. Kyle?
Thank you, Danielle, for that wonderful report. And yes, this is going to be the last off-season league for a lot of teams. So individually, of course, you want to make a good showing for yourself to try and earn that spot on the Team A roster. And as a team, as Danielle mentioned, this is an opportunity for them to build more chemistry together, get more wins under their belt, and of course, ultimately prove to their coaches that they can be trusted with more playing time or even a spot in the Team A roster. As Reyes hits another free throw. Reyes has been a steady point guard here in the first half for Lyceum. Could be one of the players who could earn a spot in the coming season of the NCAA. Of course, both of these teams representing the NCAA, the oldest collegiate league in the country. Villaflor with that short stab, 22-29. Barba asking for a screen here. And a good pass coming from Barba, just unable to knock it down was Caicedo. Now Raimundo taking that baseline mid-range jumper, no go. Abregana with the rebound and an outlet to Caicedo. Beautiful pass and conversion there. Caicedo knocking it down. Barba was trying to go for a steal there. Instead gets called for a foul, and this was that last play. And Caicedo finishing the break with that layup. Now Raimundo at the free throw line. Misses that first free throw. Makes good on the second. It's now an 8-point lead for the Pirates, 31-23. Barba finding a gap in the defense and getting that ball back in the corner wide open. And no one boxing out Abregana. The Generals falling asleep there and failing to put a body as we take another look at that last play. Barba was wide open for that corner three-pointer, but Abregana was there to clean up the mess. Abregana showing a lot of emotion after hitting that basket. He will head to the free throw line for a bonus free throw. And he knocks it down. An 11-point lead now for the Pirates. And one on the other side of the floor as Edmund Mundas gets that floater off the glass plus the foul. Mundas finding a gap in the defense and wasting no time in attacking it. As Ken Kaduyak is seeing action for the first time here for Lyceum. We'll have to get confirmation, but I would take a guess as he looks to be the younger brother of former Lyceum Pirate Raymar Kaduyak. Same build, same, obviously same body type. We'll see if they have the same game. Good ball movement on the perimeter here for the Pirates, but Abregana overshoots that corner three-pointer. A two-man game here between Raimundo and Villaflor. Raimundo opting to go baseline. That's going to be another foul. Both teams committing a lot of fouls here in the second quarter. And Mundas will head to the free throw line. Makes good on the first. Misses the second. Abregana with that rebound. Caicedo could have taken that three-pointer. Good decision to bring that ball back out. Abregana once again open for a corner three-pointer. Once again overshoots the mark. As Raimundo finds Doria open on the perimeter of Villaflor, looking for a teammate. Hands it off to Castillo. A cross-court pass. Was a bit too high there for Doria. Aviles checking back into this game in favor of Caicedo. Caicedo providing quality minutes off the bench for Coach Gilbert Malabanan. man-to-man defense now for the Generals. And that mid-range jumper is good for James Almario. It's good that both teams so far have given opportunities to a lot of their players. It's up to the players to make the most of these opportunities as Almario tries to break the defense down. Kaduyak takes that three-pointer and makes it for his first basket of the game. Ken Kaduyak, as I mentioned earlier, I'm waiting to see if he has a similar game to his older brother, of course, Raymar Kaduyak, former Lyceum Pirate. That's going to be a kick ball here by Aviles. Ball will stay with the Generals. 14 seconds on the shot clock. A minute and 33 remaining on our game clock here in the second quarter. Awkward shot there coming from Baniked. Mario with a series of moves to get away from the defender. I guess that layup to go off the glass. It's already a 15-point lead now for the Pirates. That's a sorry miss coming from Edmund Mundas. No one to challenge him at the rim. Simply missed that layup. It's Almario getting a screen from Aviles here at the top of the key. Well, not a lot happening on that offensive possession for Lyceum. That was an air ball by Aviles. Not the shot you want coming from him. As this could be the second to the last possession of the second quarter here. Almost a steal by Abregana, but instead Mundas goes for that layup. Aviles saying that he got all ball. Of course, our officials say otherwise, and that will be two more free throws here coming for Edmund Mundas. And that steal attempt by Abregana proved to be a costly error as Aviles had no choice but to go for that shot block. Instead, Mundas being sent to the free throw line, which he knocks the first of two down. The second one is off the mark, but the Generals get the ball back. Not able to capitalize as Almario tracks down the loose ball. And that's gonna be another foul. Baniked fouling Almario, putting a little too much pressure in the backcourt there. Instead of playing honest defense, they give Almario a chance to add two more to his total. And another trip to the free throw line. I've lost count at how many times these teams have went to the free throw line here in the second quarter. Both teams getting into the penalty early. And the pace has been a bit slower here in the second quarter, which you could argue has been in favor of the Pirates, seeing as they were down in the first quarter, but now it's already a double-digit lead for Lyceum as Almario hits both free throws to extend it to 16. Last shot time here for the Generals with 13 seconds left in the game clock. Another sorry miss for Edmund Mundas. Almario could have dribbled that ball up a little bit more. Still 4 seconds on the shot on the clock when he took that half-court heave. Both teams exchanging turnovers here as that inbound from Edmund Mundas was way off to the right. And now it's going to be a baseline inbound for the Pirates. Give them a better look at the basket before we end our first half. And that three-point attempt by Kaduyak is off the mark, hitting nothing there. That was an air ball for him. And before we head into our halftime break, let us take a look at our play of the half, our move of the half here, coming from Almario, spinning off his defender and getting that layup to go. Tough basket there coming from James Almario. It's a 43-27 lead in favor of the Lyceum Pirates as we head into the halftime break. Don't go anywhere. Still a lot of intense basketball action when we come back. And before we resume action here, let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. A back and forth action between both teams. And the Generals are getting an early lead in the first quarter. So slowly but surely, the Lyceum Pirates crawling their way back into this game, and now they're the ones enjoying a double-digit deficit, 16-point lead to be exact, 43-27 in favor of Lyceum. And second half action is underway, in Doria inbounding that ball to Raimundo. The Generals have a bit of work to do here to trim this lead down. Villaflor in and out on that layup. Moralejo finding Aviles, good pass there, but even better block coming from Stephen Texon. Or rather, that was Edmund Mundas with the block on Aviles. As both teams missing some point-blank shots here to start the third quarter. And Doria make sure that they're the first ones to get on the board here with that three-pointer. 43-30 now is the score. Almost a turnover there by Montaño. Instead, Moralejo getting a screen at the top of the key from Aviles. Moralejo had to double clutch for that jumper. Good defense there from the Generals. As Raimundo tries to take it himself and knocks the mid-range jumper down. 5 quick points here for the Generals. And this is what they like. They like to push the tempo. This fast-paced style working in favor so far of the Generals, as opposed to the half-court sets, which have been very effective for Lyceum. That time, another missed layup there. The Generals pushing the ball up the floor, and Doria with a wide open layup here. 7-0 run to start the third quarter. And what was once a 16-point lead is already down to 9. Peñafiel looking for a teammate here, getting a screen from Aviles. In and out dribble, and knocks that layup down. Finally, Lyceum taking more than 2 minutes off the clock before they hit a basket here in the third quarter. Raimundo tries to answer with a three-pointer. No good there, as Montaño gets the rebound and brings the ball up the floor himself. Peñafiel once again looking for a teammate. Montaño with a dipsy-do attempt there at the basket. No good, but luckily for him, he was fouled. That looks like Villaflor with the foul. No correction, that would be Raimundo. Harvey Raimundo with a foul after hitting Montaño, or clipping Montaño on the face as he was going for that layup. Montaño with another rebound, outlet to Moralejo. That pass goes off the foot of Aviles as Raimundo tries to go off the glass there. Montaño once again with another rebound. This time, instead of giving that ball, tries to take it coast to coast. But good hands coming from Villaflor, just simply taking that ball away from Montaño. And Raimundo with another mid-range jumper. Raimundo is very good at that. The mid-range game, not a lost art, as some people would claim it is. Raimundo making a living from the mid-range as Montano could have gotten away with an offensive foul there. Still, ball will stay with the Pirates. And 12 seconds on the shot clock of LPU. A couple of substitutions here for EAC. And Bautista seeing action for the first time. That's Aaron Bautista. A tough shot for Renz Villegas. As before we get back into the action, let's turn it over to our courtside reporter, Danielle LaGuardia. Danielle.
The EAC Generals had a good start there and suddenly slipped away. That's why Coach Noy Catalan at the halftime was expressing his frustrations and dismay in how the second quarter turned out. Players were not communicating, focusing on themselves, and they were only looking to score and not to play basketball. Coming in the second half, using their frustrations as fuel to bounce back, they were reminded to lessen their useless fouls and that it's important to challenge our opponent. As their coaching staff said, they already had the lead once, they can do it again. Let's see how they will turn the tables this time around. Kyle?
Well, thank you, Danielle. And yes, how the tables have turned in that second quarter when Lyceum went on that run before ending up with a double-digit lead before the halftime break. But now EAC trying to crawl their way back from that 16-point deficit. Now it's only a 7-point lead for Lyceum. And as Danielle mentioned in her report, they were playing individually a little too much, speaking of EAC, in that second quarter. Now they've been pushing that ball every chance they get, every missed shot, every turnover they force. They've been going on the fast break, speaking of the Generals, and they've converted more than they've missed here in the third quarter, which has allowed them to cut this deficit down to single digits as Montano misses the first of 2 free throws. And also, both teams have to be better at managing their fouls here, as both teams got into the penalty early in that second quarter. And now EAC with 2 team fouls, Lyceum with 1 team foul here in the third quarter, doing much better of taking care of their team foul situation here in the second half so far. But the ball will stay with Lyceum off of that missed free throw from Montano. But unfortunately, that's going to be a turnover as Villegas steps on the sideline after receiving that ball. Now Coach Noy Catalan digging deeper into their bench once more. Adam Doria checking back into the game for Edmund Mundas. As Shannon Seeley is on the floor for the first time for the Generals. Seeley, obvious travel there. Could have been a basket for him, but not able to establish that pivot foot upon getting that ball. And that's going to be another turnover here for LPU. This time an offensive foul is called on John Versosa, setting that screen for Renz Villegas, but that was a moving screen on Versosa. Another opportunity here for the Generals to cut into this lead even further, with Doria attempting a three-pointer off the mark, but they get the offensive rebound. Shannon Seeley almost got away with another travel there, but you love the energy that he's been bringing off the bench here in the third quarter. Bautista giving that ball up to Raimundo, who loves this mid-range jumper. Another offensive rebound for Shannon Seeley, but the ball was poked free by Montano. Ball will stay with the Generals. 13 seconds remaining on their shot clock, and it looks like the Lyceum Pirates are asking for a review here of that last play. Montano claiming that the last touch was on Seeley. officials, as you see here on our screens, looking at that last play using our instant replay system to determine what happened there. Well, it was obvious that Montaño poked that ball away from Sealy. Now the question is, did Sealy touch the ball before it went out? And Montaño might have a case there, as from that angle at least, it appears that Sealy might have grazed the ball as it was going out, but challenge is unsuccessful. Ball will stay with the EAC Generals, so that replay was a bit inconclusive for our officials' liking. And not enough to change the possession there, and Doria takes advantage of that extra possession given to them, knocking it off the glass. Sosa losing that ball. Good defense there coming from the Generals. And it looks like the Generals are now going to be the ones to ask for an official review here. As looking at the action on the floor, it seems that Barba was the one who touched the ball last, trying to tap it over to Renz Villegas. Our officials saying that the ball will stay with Lyceum, but of course EAC disagreeing with that call, thus asking for an official review. And it didn't take long for our officials to come up with a verdict. Ball will stay. Oh, rather, ball will go back to EAC. That should have been an obvious call from the get-go. Barba was the last person to touch that ball. So that was a successful challenge coming from Coach Noy, Catalan, and the rest of the coaching staff of EAC. 3 minutes, 43 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. 46-41 is the score in favor of Lyceum. If you'll remember, when we started this third quarter, it was a 16-point lead, 43-27. But since then, Lyceum has only scored 3 points here in the third quarter, while EAC has already scored 14. 14-3 run for EAC, and that was a good block coming from Renz Villegas. Ball will stay with the Generals. 12 seconds on their shot clock and a baseline inbound. Raimundo asking for that ball in the post. He likes that matchup against Reyes, but that is going to be another block. This time for Sosa, knocking that ball away, and the EAC Generals are calling for a timeout, trying to draw up a better offensive play here. 3 minutes and 14 seconds remaining. Don't go anywhere. We are going to be taking a short break. We are back here, third quarter action between the Lyceum Pirates and the EAC Generals. What was once a 16-point lead is now just 3 points, still in favor of Lyceum, but EAC has done a tremendous job here in the third quarter to limit Lyceum's offensive output. On the other end, they've been converting and getting easy looks at the basket as they force another turnover here. Good denial coming from Bagay. Rather, that's Jeffrey Namoro with a defensive stop here and giving another possession back to the Generals. Ndsl works his way in the post. 9 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Raimundo taking that mid-range jumper, but Barba skying high for that rebound. Ndsl getting that rebound for the Generals. And Sealy might not be the most talented offensive player, but you can rely on him definitely to get those rebounds and fight for those loose balls. And that's precisely why, even though he only got into the third quarter, he hasn't gone back to the bench. But that will be an offensive, a loose ball foul. Bautista was called for that loose ball foul, which gives the ball back to the Pirates. Raimundo got that ball poked free by Reyes. Good hands coming from Reyes, but that is going to be an obvious turnover coming from Barba. An obvious travel there for the veteran. 1:05 remaining here in the third quarter. Bautista with the ball, handing it over to Raimundo. Raimundo getting that screen from Mundas. Two-man game here. Mundas finishing the play with that strong layup. Oh, that shot is too strong coming from Reyes. Raimundo getting the lead back for the EAC Generals, 47-46. The last shot time now for the Lyceum Pirates. A 2-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. 12 seconds on the shot clock for Lyceum. Ato Barba asking for a screen, or rather a clear out here, playing one-on-one against the entire EAC defense. Finding Reyes in the nick of time for that corner three-pointer to get the lead back for Lyceum. 49-47 is the score. We still have one more quarter of action to go. Don't go anywhere, as we are going to be right back to finish off this first game of our 6-game slate here in the first game day of the second conference of the NDSL. The fourth quarter action is about to get underway here between the Lyceum Pirates and the EAC Generals. Lyceum enjoying a 2-point lead, 49-47. EAC got the lead briefly before that corner three-pointer by Reyes to end the third quarter as Ato Barba scores the first basket of the fourth quarter. Edmund Mundas looking for a teammate here, handing it over. 4 seconds left on the shot clock of the Generals. Mundas losing the ball. That's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. Good team defense there by the LPU Pirates. He is bringing the ball up the floor. Barba, two-man game here with Versosa. A rescreen as Barba trying to snake the screen, but good defense coming from Baniquet. But nevertheless, that three-pointer goes down for Fuentes. Not Fuentes extends his lead to 6, or rather to 7, 54-47. That three-pointer is answered by General Baniquet. A good two-man action there between Fuentes and Versosa. Versosa got open after setting that beautiful screen to free up Fuentes. Strong rebound there coming from Versosa. An outlet pass almost stolen. The Lyceum now setting up their half-court play. Two-man game once again between Barba and Versosa. Barba rejecting the screen, but finding an open shooter in the corner. Good hustle coming from Reyes, but ultimately Baniquet gets the rebound. Good passing there for the Generals, but even better block coming from Versosa. Finished off with a layup by Reyes. A fast-paced action here in the fourth quarter. Of course, both teams wanting to start this second conference of the NDSL on a good note, on a winning note. As Villaflor misses the layup, Soria missed there, and another rebound here. Reyes pushing up the tempo, finding a teammate in the corner, but that pass to Nat Fuentes was off the mark. Miscommunication there between Reyes and Fuentes. It's going to be a substitution here for Lyceum. Versosa getting a much-deserved break as Abregana checks back into this game. Abregana provided quality minutes earlier in the second quarter. One of the reasons why Lyceum went on that run was because of the energy provided by Jovan Abregana. As Raimundo hits another mid-range jumper. I've lost count on how many mid-range jumpers Raimundo has hit today. That seems to be one of his go-tos. A mid-range game being favored by the Generals here, as they have Castillo, who is also one of the more well-known players in the league, who likes to take that mid-range jumper, as that three-pointer coming from Fuentes is off the mark. Second three-pointer by Fuentes is off to the left. Luckily, the hustle coming from the Pirates, getting them numerous looks at the basket. Still nothing. Third try for the Pirates. A good defense by the Generals. That turnover forced by Almario gives the ball back to LPU. Almario using those long arms to bother the passing lane. Raimundo was the one to touch that ball last. Coaching staff of Lyceum shouting as the shot clock was winding down. Unfortunately, Nat Fuentes was unaware as the buzzer sounded. A shot clock violation there for the Pirates. As I welcome back my colleague, Cho Pangilinan, doing double duty today. Earlier was the game announcer for majority of this game. Now experiencing some technical difficulties, but we have found a way to get him back here beside me.
Yes, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? An honor to anchor the hopefully final 5 minutes of this fourth period, as it's the LPU Pirates up by 8 points. Again, we have under 5 minutes remaining in Chapter 4. Raimundo, tough shot, won't go. They try once again, and that goes. That time for Gedrick Luna. So the Generals cut it to just a 6-point lead for LPU. Meanwhile, the Pirates looking for some offense. Fuentes fires a 3. Way off, a rebound by Buen. Doria this time, he goes right. Stops, fades away, off the window, it's good for Adam Doria. And with that, the lead of LPU is cut down to just 4 points. As the timeout is called by Coach Gilbert Malabanan. Over 4 minutes remain, let's take another look. Doria fading away for that easy 2. We'll be back for more. (60-56). Again, only a 4-point lead for the Pirates. And a big shout out to EAC General's assistant coach, Joseph Guion. Unfortunately, wala siya sa ating venue, but for sure he is watching our live. You can catch that on our Facebook and a YouTube channel. Just search for the Ndsl Basketball Series. LPU now with the possession. Kaduyak outside. Hit a couple of threes this game. 7 to shoot, nowhere to go. They fire one, and that's gonna the fadeaway.
Still anyone's ball game here with still a lot of time for the Generals to get back into this game.
That was Dileg scoring 2, making it a 6-point lead for LPU. As Raimundo controlling the offense. The pick outside Doria, long 2, and he gets fouled.
That's right, Almario getting a little too close for comfort there as Doria was leaning a bit forward, taking that shot. Still natural shooting motion. Almario not able to put on the brakes as he was contesting that jumper.
Two freebies now for Adam Doria. Scored a bunch this game. Hopefully we'll cut this lead down even more. It's at 5 points. A chance to make it 4. 2 possession game as we have over 3 minutes remaining. So far only 1 team foul for LPU and none for EAC as Doria gets 2 out of 2 from the line. Almost a turnover right there. As Kaduyak sends it inside. Versosa outside dish. They hesitate on the 3. Almario settles inside. Difficult shot, no good.
Well, that was a good challenge there coming from Jedrick Luna. Just simply putting his hands up and getting the ball back for his team.
Doria off the window, 3 ball. And EAC gets a steal. Raimundo hustling for that ball.
Well, not a good sign here for Lyceum as after Doria, as we saw here, knocking down that 3-pointer off the glass. Bank is open on a Monday morning for Doria, and then subsequently EAC forcing that turnover against the Pirates.
Only a 1-point deficit. Raimundo hits the 3. Big time shot coming from Harvey Raimundo, giving his squad a 2-point lead.
And it looks like after that 3-pointer, Ken Kaduyak was called for a loose ball foul. So things not looking good right now for Lyceum, giving up 2 consecutive 3-pointers against the Generals, and Kaduyak committing that loose ball foul, trying to box out. And the ball will go back to the Generals. What a swing of momentum here.
Indeed, double kill of a sequence for LPU. But on the bright side, EAC with a chance to extend this lead as we're approaching our last 2 minutes of the game. So 14 to shoot now for Raimundo and company. 2 Raimundos, by the way. As Doria, one more time, kaboom!
That's 3 consecutive 3-pointers for the Generals, 2 of them coming from Doria.
Adam Doria showing his squad he can be a reliable shooter in times of crisis. As Barba attacks. Too easy for Ato Barba.
Barba is the most veteran player, I would argue, from both teams here in this game. So you would expect him to try and take matters into his own hands.
A while ago, EAC trailed by as much as 15 points. Now they're leading by 3. As we approach the twilight zone, the last 2 minutes, Raimundo, no good. And they get it back. Mundas attacks. Mundas, basket and 1. The hoop and a harm for Edmund Mundas.
The Generals doing all the right things here as we head towards the end game. As we see this last play, Mundas hustling for that loose ball and getting fouled by Barba as he was attempting that layup, and 1 is the reward of Edmund Mundas for that hustle. And those 50-50 balls going the way of the Generals here towards the end of our gameplay. And Lyceum has to be quicker and match the energy of the EAC Generals.
Bonus freebie for Mundas. Unable to hit it, but quite a comfortable lead of 5. Under 2 minutes remaining in this game. Barba, the ball in his hands. Crosses over Raimundo. Sends it inside, they almost lose it. Montaño swarmed. But there's a foul. That's gonna be the first team foul only of the Generals this period. But a timeout is called by Coach Gilbert Malabanan as again they're trailing by 5 points, under 2 minutes remaining in this game. We go back to the action. And again, head coach of the LPU Pirates in the NCAA, that's Coach Gilbert Malabanan. But for this game, listed head coach is Coach Patrick Milencio. 3-point lead for the Generals. Again, the Pirates are not yet out of the woods, as we have 31 seconds remaining. Still plenty of time to make something happen if you're the boys of Coach Gilbert. But you gotta give credit to these EAC guys. They have been making the tough shots. That fadeaway step back from Raimundo and a couple of threes from Doria.
Oh, that's right. What a time for the Generals to hit their shots here in the fourth quarter. They were down by double digits to start the second half, but they crawled their way back, making a run in the third quarter. And now holding on, trying to hold on to get this first win against at the expense of the LPU Pirates.
There was a whistle on the last play. So there's going to be a review of on the last sequence of play. Our officials just making sure that the ball goes to the right owner. Officially 31 seconds remaining. 3-point lead now for the Generals. And if you're AC, you just have to play this one smartly. So there goes our official review. Seems like Palingayan was trying to get hold of that basketball. And if I'm not mistaken, that's Edmund Mundas in front of him. So it looks like our officials now have a final verdict. So that's on Leon Palingayan of LPU. So the Generals will have a chance to extend this lead. Perhaps a much more comfortable one. And shooting two will be Edmund Mundas. Perhaps even one free throw could change the landscape of this game. But there seems to be more discussions coming from our officials. Again, 31 seconds remaining on our clock. For LPU, a lot of skilled shooters on their roster to look for. But that's going to be easier said than done. So still our officials having some discussions. So let's see what will happen. Coach MC Caceres also speaking with our officials.
This could potentially be the biggest possession of this game, regardless, depending on what our officials' call will be.
Our referee is really being thorough with every sequence. But the initial call was a foul on Leon Palingayan. So still two shots for Edmund Mundas. Again, a chance to put them up by a comfortable 2 possessions.
Oh yes, safe to say if Edmund Mundas knocks both free throws down, it's not gonna look good for the Pirates.
So still Coach Gilbert having discussions with our officials. They don't seem too happy. The emotions of the game showing as we're in the dying seconds of it. Again, 31 seconds remaining. If you're LPU, no need to panic, but there's going to be a tough challenge for you. So Mundas now will be tested at the line. Was actually great this whole game, but it all boils down to these moments. First one is off for Mundas.
I think they adjusted the score. It's now 72 to 68. Only a 4-point lead for the Generals, but Mundas could extend it to 5.
That's a good thing after all, even though he missed that one. And he'll make one. So make that an official 5-point lead for EAC. 2-possession game. And a timeout called here by the LPU Pirates. Coach Gilbert having some words on our officials table. Obviously not happy. But we'll be back for more. Back to the action here, 73 to 68. That is our official score. 5-point gap in favor of the EAC Generals. 31 seconds remaining. Again, if you're LPU, no need to panic. But it's a 2-possession game. It's going to be a difficult challenge for the squad. But so far, this whole game, a lot of capable scorers and shooters for LPU. The likes of Nat Fuentes knocking some down. We also have Jovan Abrigana. But let's see what will be the tactics here of Coach Patrick Milencio, as he's the one calling the shots for this one.
Lyceum just has to take the best available shot. No need to rush and not necessarily take a 3-pointer. Still 31 seconds remaining. Just take the available shot, try and force a turnover in the following possession. If not, play the foul game.
Montaño receives it. And there's a foul. That's on Mundas. Good thing that's only their 3rd team foul.
And Lyceum has to move quick here. Obviously, time is not on their side, so they have to make a quick basket. Can't afford to waste too much of their shot clock.
Dialig. Barba outside. Ato trying to find an opening. Barba attacking. He won't score, he'll get it back. It's deflected. As Harvey Raimundo settles down.
Now Lyceum has to foul.
NJ2, Leon Palingayan going for that intentional foul as we have 6.8 seconds remaining. So Mundas once again shall be tested at the line. And they're already up by 5. So one more free throw could change the landscape, or no longer change the landscape, but put them up more. And he knocks down that second one.
EAC can afford to not even challenge the shot here as Barba hits that 3-pointer.
And Ato Barba hitting that shot. And I'm sure he did not intend to put that one in based on his body language, but it'll go in anyway, although only 9/10 of a second remaining. Not to mention Harvey Raimundo shall be shooting free throws as well. The first one is no good for Raimundo. And there you have it. After a close and exciting game, we have a final score of 73-71. But this time, the EAC Generals will come out of this game with a smile as they get the dub here with our first game in our second conference of the 2025 Ndsl Basketball Series. And let's take a look at our move of the game. It's this one. Edmund Mundas, body to body of the window, has been a solid contributor for the Generals this game. And hopefully we'll see more of him. What a game it has been. Again, EAC winning this one close by 2 points. And our player of the game, no other than this guy. A big shot after a big shot. Remember the name, Adam Doria of the EAC Generals. 24 points, 3 boards, and 2 dimes. Perhaps we shall see more of him come the NCAA Season 101. But for now, we'll see him with our courtside reporter, Daniel Aguardia.
Thank you so much, Cholo and Kyle. I have here our best player of the game, Adam Doria. So Adam, you had a good start with your team, but it slipped away by the second quarter. But then we saw a different energy come the second half. So what changed for you and your team?
Nag-adjust lang po kami sa una, medyo nangangapa pa. So ayun, sabi ni coach, mag-adjust lang kami and well prepared naman yung team kaya maganda yung naging result.
So you really showed that you were a reliable shooter, especially during the critical moments of the game. So how did you manage your focus and composure to give us that kind of performance?
Siguro naging prepared lang ako na sobrang tagal kong inantay ito. Tapos ngayon, ayun, 2 years akong out and ngayon, ikukunin ko ulit yung kumpiyansa ko. Tuloy lang, kumpiyansa lang ngayon.
Of course, you have a lot of people watching you right now. Would you like to greet or thank anyone?
Shoutout po sa family ko dyan sa Rizal, Laguna, teammates ko sa EAC, sa kambal ko, sa iyo, Diana, and sa whole community ng EAC and sa Rizal, Laguna. Ayun po.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, Adam, for that amazing performance. And of course, for the EAC Generals for claiming their first win. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Again, that is Adam Doria scoring 24 big points in this EAC dub. But of course, stay tuned. Coming up next in the 19 and under division, it'll be the Perpetual Junior Altas and the EAC Brigadiers as we'll be back. Once again, this is the NDSL Basketball Series.